As you begin to absorb the idea of who you are and what you're here to do, you'll begin to notice something extraordinary. You may notice a deep sense of knowing that emerges, almost as if the very words themselves, they're waking something inside you, something timeless, something ancient, and yet new, and yet undeniably yours. You've always had this within you, just as you've always been connected to something greater than yourself, something that stirs your heart and makes it beat with purpose. Imagine just for a moment that your life is not just a series of isolated events or random acts, but rather a grand tapestry that stretches across time, beyond your lifetime, beyond anything you've ever conceived. Your purpose isn't singular, and yet it's undeniably yours. You see, just as a single thread in a grand design might seem small, perhaps even insignificant, it's part of a pattern far larger than you can ever imagine. As you embrace this, you begin to feel an inner strength arise. It's the knowing that though your individual accomplishments, they might not seem to fulfill all your desires, the journey itself is leading you towards something far more profound than simple. Fleeting satisfaction. Because you see, what you're truly here for goes beyond this moment. Think about how many moments you felt connected to something, how the smallest action can ripple out to touch others in ways you may never fully comprehend. You may never know the full impact of what you do, and yet by doing it, you contribute to something larger. A spark you ignite today could light a path for someone else tomorrow, and that in itself creates a future that continues long after you've passed. In fact, the more you think about it, the more you can see how you've already been a part of a collective vision. The truth is, there's a seed within you, a seed of the future. You might not fully see it yet, but imagine it's already there, waiting to sprout. The work you do today, no matter how small it seems, is building the foundation for something much greater. Your actions, your beliefs, your interactions, they matter. Not because of who you are now, but because of what they contribute to, the greater whole. Just take a moment to reflect on this. Everything you do, every connection that you make, every act of kindness, every moment you help someone come together, is planting a seed in a vast garden that will one day grow and expand in ways that are far beyond your current understanding. And this is why, deep within you, there's a longing, an inner calling, to fulfill something that's beyond yourself. It's not just about your personal journey. It's about something far more profound, far more meaningful. Now, as you let that realization settle in, you can sense how this greater purpose, this grand collective dream, is unfolding. You're part of a wave of evolution that's both deeply individual and yet profoundly collective. Your dreams, as big as they feel, they're too vast to be fulfilled within the confines of a single lifetime. But that's the beauty of it. Your purpose, it isn't just to fulfill your dreams. It's to facilitate the coming together of others, to help them to see what you see, to help them feel what you feel, to share the dreams you've glimpsed with others, who can then help to shape it further. Just imagine how you can step into this role with ease and grace. You don't need to have all the answers. In fact, you don't even need to know the exact shape that the future will take. What's most important is you trust in the process. You trust the deep knowing that your purpose is unfolding, even if you can't always see it clearly. And the more you lean into this, the more you'll start to notice signs that confirm this truth. They'll show up in the smallest of moments, perhaps in a conversation, a smile from a stranger, a connection that seems entirely coincidental, but is in fact part of a grand design. As you begin to notice these signs, the more your own sense of purpose will grow, and with it, the knowledge that you're helping create something that will outlast you, something that will continue to evolve long after you're gone. This, my friend, is the beauty of what you're here to do. It's not about personal glory, but about becoming part of a greater process, a process of evolution, growth and connection that transcends the individual. In this way, you're fulfilling your deepest purpose. You're part of something much larger, much more powerful than you can fully grasp right now. And isn't that amazing to realize? By doing the work you do, by planting the seeds you've planted, you're already laying the foundation for something magnificent, something that's yet to be fully realized, yet to unfold in the future. The sense of joy and fulfillment you seek in achieving a single goal. It's in the knowing that you're part of something far more meaningful, something that will continue to grow and expand far beyond what you see in the present moment. So let this understanding settle deep within you now, because as you move forward, you carry with you a spark, a vision and a purpose that will shape the future in ways you may never fully see, but will always know is unfolding. You're not alone in this. You're part of a collective dream, and together you're creating something extraordinary. As you take in this idea that your life is not simply a collection of isolated moments, but rather an unfolding masterpiece, you can begin to feel a shift in how you perceive the world. So imagine each action you take, no matter how small it may seem, is part of a larger, intricate design, a dance that connects you to everything around you. And in this dance you realize you're both the creator and the created, shaping and being shaped in ways that are beyond your immediate awareness. It's almost as if you can sense that your life is not simply about achieving individual goals or seeking personal success. In fact, you might even begin to notice the more you let go of the need for personal validation, the more deeply fulfilling the process becomes. It's not about getting there, it's about the knowing that you're already a part of something far greater than yourself. And by simply being, by simply existing, you contribute to this greater whole in ways you may never even fully see. So imagine the feeling of effortless flow as you align with a larger purpose. It's as if you're beginning to be guided, not by force, but by an inner knowing that gently but powerfully directs you towards the role in the grand design. Each thought, each decision, each action you take comes infused with a sense of meaning, of alignment with something that's already unfolding just beneath the surface. And in this alignment, you begin to notice how much more easily things seem to come. The connections you make, the steps you take, they all align to create something much larger than the sum of its parts. So picture this: a single drop of water falls from the sky. And while it might seem small, it's part of an endless cycle of creation. Each drop joins with others, and together they form rivers, lakes, and oceans. Your actions, your choices, they may seem small at times, but just like the drops of water, they ripple out, joining with the actions of others, forming something vast, something boundless. And even though you might not see the full path of those ripples, they're felt, they're heard, they're understood, far beyond what you could have imagined. And as you continue on this journey, you realize your purpose is not simply to reach a destination, but to participate in the unfolding of a much greater story. A story that belongs to everyone, and yet no one in particular. It's a story of connection, of collaboration, of a future being built moment by each of us together. Feel the peace that comes from the knowing that you're exactly where you're meant to be, doing exactly what you're meant to do, even when you can't see all the steps ahead. And in those moments, when you feel certain, it's as if the very uncertainty itself is part of the dance. For in those moments, you trust the process. You trust each step you take is contributing to something that's unfolding, not just for you, but for everyone around you. Now, as you let those feelings wash over you, you might begin to sense the very purpose that you're seeking. It's not something that you can grasp directly. It's not something that exists as a final destination. Rather, it's something you bring into being with every thought, with every action, with every word. And by participating in the greater flow, by connecting with others in meaningful ways, you become a part of the foundation, of something that will outlast you, something that will continue to grow and evolve long after your time. There's profound satisfaction in knowing that you're not required to complete this journey on your own, or even within your own lifetime. It's not just about achieving something for yourself, but about contributing to the collective whole. Each person you meet, each interaction you have, it's a chance to leave a lasting impression, a small seed planted in the fertile ground of humanity's evolution. You might never see that full tree, but you know deep down that your part is vital, your contribution necessary. And as you reflect on this, something even more remarkable comes apparent. The very act of serving the greater whole, the very act of participating in the collective dream, it begins to fulfill you in ways you never thought were possible. You begin to see the fulfillment you seek. It isn't something you can reach or attain. It's something that arises naturally when you align with the flow of the greater process. The fulfillment is in the doing, in the being, in the understanding that every moment you live is part of a greater, ever unfolding creation. And in this space you begin to understand the nature of time itself, not as something linear, but as an expansive, interconnected web. Your past, your present, and your future, they all exist simultaneously, every moment informing the other, creating a continuum that transcends individual experience. And with each moment you're planting the seeds for a future you may never see, but you trust will bloom in ways you can't even imagine. And you may find the more you embrace this, the more effortless it becomes to step into your role in this grand design. And as you do, you may notice how everything around you begins to shift, how others begin to recognize their own purpose, how the connections between you and others deepen, how the collective dream grows stronger with each passing day. What's incredible is, even though this vision might seem so vast, so beyond what you can consciously grasp, you're already contributing to it in ways you don't even yet fully realize. The foundation is being laid one step at a time, one thought at a time, one moment at a time. As you allow yourself to step into this larger vision, you open yourself to the endless possibilities that arise when individuals come together in pursuit of a common dream. So as you move forward, you come in to carry with you the knowing that you're not alone in this. You're part of a grand process, a collective journey. The more you connect with this, the more natural it'll feel. And as your future unfolds, it's as if you're always in the right place at the right time, doing exactly what you're meant to do. And in the quiet of your being, you can feel the shift happening now, deep within. You can feel the recognition of your place in this greater design. As you feel this deep knowing, you realize your purpose is not something you achieve. It's something you're already part of. You've always been, always will be. You're here to help others come together, to serve a dream far larger than any individual one can ever imagine.